Shawn, lovely to meet you. I was at the fan event. It was wild. Did you feel like a rock star?
I did. I mean, I'm a little bit deluded today. I told my daughters and wife that I feel like a rock star. They laughed at me, so I was instantly brought down to earth.
But it was such an amazing event.
Yeah, that
wasn't
energy
it?
was amazing. I mean, you know this in general when you come into the MCU and you get the privilege of doing a Deadpool Wolverine story. I always knew it was the chance of a lifetime and the privilege of my career thus far, but you felt it in that room. You felt it in your bones and you felt it in the cheers, and it was rowdy and it was visceral and just fantastic.
I mean, I'm Scottish, so we've got the best crowds in the world, but even for me last night, I was like, this is popping in here. I was like, I want to go on a night out now.
Yeah, no, it was good. And I'm told I wasn't able to stick around through the screening of the footage, but I'm told that energy carried right through.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Now, listen, I've got quite an important question for you because I actually did dress up as Deadpool. I touted it as one of my movies to look out for in 2024. However, I couldn't breathe. And I had to take the mask off.
Yeah. Are you wondering about Ryan's oxygen levels?
This is what I need to know, because I asked Rob, does he actually wear, is it him in the costume? Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. And if I would do a bunch of takes in a row, or we would improvise a long scene, Ryan would take, well, we had a trick. First of all, the eyes, they're magnetic. So what we would do, if it was just a short break, like 3-4 minutes, he would pop out the eyes. Because he said that just having the eye holes would allow some oxygen into the mask. And then if it was going to be more than a 5 or 10 minute break, he would take the whole mask off. And perhaps like yourself last night, he would be dripping in sweat.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't thankfully dripping last night in sweat because I thought I didn't want to wear the costume because I didn't want to upstage Ryan.
Well, that's generous of you.
You know, so
that's
I was a
really
bit
generous.
more low-key.
Yeah, it's like you're both well-dressed and considerate.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm
yeah,
a nice
his ego
person.
is so fragile. It's so delicate. So thank you for sparing him that anguish.
I did kind of get that vibe.
Yeah.
Now, you say the eyes are magnetic. So, do you mean magnetic as in, like, if he looked at me, I'd be like... I mean, I probably would anyway if Ryan
That,
Ryan
by
looked
the
at
way,
me.
that was comedy. And I work in comedy. That was impressive.
Oh, stop it.
It's not that they're magnetic outwardly or to other objects. They're magnetic to the portal in which they sit.
Right.
So like if you took the black eyes and you got close, they go shh.
Right, I see.
So they affix internally, not outwardly.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
For the next one.
Oh, well, that's a whole other storyline. Deadpool can't control his behavior because his magnetic eyes are getting him into awkward situations.
But it definitely is Ryan acting in the suit. It's not a stunt double, it's him.
Oh, no, it's always him. He's incredibly protective of this character. The only exception is there's a few dance moves during a certain sequence.
Outstanding, by the way.
I would love to tell the world that was all Ryan, but it was only partially Ryan. Right. Because there has to be limits on his talent. You know, it's enough that he's that handsome and he's that good a writer and he's that funny and smart and he does pretty well in business. Let's not also let him be a sexy, amazing dancer.
He would break the internet. It's just too much.
Too much.
Do you know what I loved? The innuendos, and I am not a wallflower by any manner of means. I love a bit of dark, sarcastic humour as well, because I'm naturally being Scottish. But the innuendos, even some of them, I was like...
Give me an example of one. I know it's a spoiler.
Okay, well, if we're going to go there,
jaw-dropper?
brace yourself. This is the time to switch off if you don't want to hear colourful language. Pegging. The pegging joke got me. I was not expecting it.
I'm going to admit something mortifying.
What are you going to say? This is a safe space, but you don't need to share it all.
It's a safe space, just you, me, and whoever's watching. So when Ryan and I were writing, we would do writing sessions. Sometimes we would improvise together and we would write it down. But very often, one of us would go, give me the laptop. Just give me the laptop. And we'd sit in silence while one of us wrote something, and then turn the laptop. Ryan does that one day, turns the laptop, and embarrassingly, I said, what's pegging? And then we went to the internet.
Oh, no.
That's mistake number 1.
I mean...
That's mistake number 1 through 10.
Did Ryan know what it was?
Oh, yeah. Ryan wrote the joke. Ryan knows all the language. But this Canadian boy didn't. this Canadian father of 4. So I am filthy now. This movie has corrupted me. It has made me filthy. I'm unbearable. And it's Ryan to blame.
I love that. Do you know, that's what the gays have done to me.
Yeah.
But listen, how amazing was it getting to share this with the fans? Because I've never felt so much anticipation and love for a movie like this.
Making a movie is hard. I've made about 15 of them. You work so hard on all of them. I worked harder on this one than any I've ever made. But every time in normal life you make a movie, you don't know if people are going to show up. The outcome is always a crapshoot. It's luck, and you have no control over it. So to work this hard, but on something where you see and feel and hear, and last night in that room, you could feel it in your bones that the excitement is there, the want and anticipation is there. That is an incredible privilege. And we've worked so hard to satisfy that hunger. And I think and I hope you'll agree that we pulled it off.
Oh, absolutely. From the 35 minutes.
Well, if you love 35, wait till you get 125.
To be honest, I was just there for the dance moves. Like, that sold me right away.
Yeah.
I tried to sort of bring it to a serious energy there just because I just had a moment there thinking, we're talking about pegging. Like, I never thought in my career I would be interviewing an incredible director and asking about pegging jokes.
Let me one-up you there.
Okay.
I'm the director of Cheaper by the Dozen. I'm the director of Big Fat Liar and Night at the Museum. I have no business writing jokes about pegging and other filth. And yet, I'm never going back.
Oh, right, okay.
No, I've been liberated. But yes, I've come a long way from my family comedy wholesome beginnings.
But what I do love about Deadpool, though, is it breaks the fourth wall so well. Do you think that's the reason why people love it as well?
I know it's a big part of what I love. Yes, I think it's a big part. They think it's the language. They think it's the action, the violence. That self-aware humor is so funny. And it's smart funny because you're commenting on culture. You're commenting on the movie while you're in the movie. And as a writer, as a director, that was absolutely the most fun tool to use.
I loved it. Well, listen, if you ever need some help with the comedy, for anything else that you do now that you've come to the dark side.
Well, I know. You're good in a mask, as I saw, but you're even better with the physical comedy in real life.
Stop it! I feel so loved. Honestly, this has been amazing. Thank you so much.
I'm happy
It's
to
been
chat
lovely
with you.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Honestly, I'm going to Stevie Nicks tonight and I'm going to have a wee
Oh,
swing
have
in my
fun.
step.
Have
I've got a
fun.
last-minute ticket.
Have
Thank
fun.
you so much.